It's as close to a must-win game as you can get as the Lions host the Cowboys tonight at Ford Field. Coming up on a special Thursday edition of Lions Game Day Live, we're in downtown Detroit to get you ready for this one with Wojo, Birchie, and TJ Lang. We'll give you 3 things to watch for. Hear from Dan Campbell in the coach's scouting report, plus sit down with defensive tackle DJ Reader. We'll talk about our old friend Tom Kowalski and the 15-year anniversary of the charity event he started, Killer's Christmas. Danny Rogers hung out with cornerback DJ Reed. Jennifer Hammond is set to chat with Lions legend Barry Sanders. And Woody wondered with Roy Lopez just what the players are listening to in their headphones before games.
If you released a country song, would it be called Sackin' and Smackin' or Honky Tonk Bull Rush?
It's the Lions and Cowboys with a lot on the line, and we've got it all for you, starting with Lions Game Day Live right now.
In downtown Detroit, week 14 in the National Football League, and the Lions find themselves in a massive football game with the Dallas Cowboys. 2 teams fighting for a spot in the playoffs. Neither can afford a loss. Big news as we get ready for this one. Amon-Ra St. Brown is a go. Whoa. You see him working out moments ago on the field. That injured ankle has been a question. He hasn't practiced this week, but Amon-Ra St. Brown is active for the Lions as they get ready for a game against the Dallas Cowboys. All right, guys, so here we go.
Good for
Dan
him.
Miller, TJ,
Hello,
Wojo,
everybody.
Birchie, great to have you here.
Good to be back so soon.
Let's start real quick with Saint. What's that mean to a team when you see a guy fighting through an injury like this?
Oh, that gives you a jolt, not only for the other guys that are going through a little bit of pain, to look at a leader like Amon-Ra and say, you know what, he's hurting too, he's out there, I got to go give my all. But also just the presence of him having being on offense and attracting the attention of that defense from Dallas. I mean, they're going to have to keep eyes on him, especially in some of the big moments. So we'll have to wait and see what his snap count looks like, but I got to imagine if he's dressing, he's out there going full go.
Outside of that, if there's a confused look on my face, it's because I have a question.
Yeah, what's that?
I'm wondering as I drive in today and thinking about the Cowboys and the Lions, Woj, what is this game?
Oh, I have the answer to that. All right, this game is close. Ain't good enough now, all right? You know, we hear all the time, they're so close to getting sacked. The pressure is there. They're close, so close to getting a turnover. They've got 1 takeaway the last 4 games. They've got 2 sacks the last 3 games. Close ain't good enough. If you're near the quarterback, don't just pressure him. Knock him down. Knock down the pass.
Thank you for not going full example.
Get an interception and a fumble.
I would have protected you.
Close ain't good enough.
As you said back in camp, they have to be sackalicious tonight.
Absolutely.
Isn't that the word that you used? Hey, last week was a can't lose game in the scope of the division race. This is actually a must-win game in the scope of the playoff race. It feels like they're playing for their lives tonight, which brings me to Woj. Last week, the Lions were fried by Love, who picked them apart and faced hardly a shove. Tonight, they'll be cooked like a Christmas ham if they let Dak sit back and feed Pickens and Lamb. They need more plays from their stars in the clutch. They need more sacks from Mack and Hutch. The IR is littered, and I do hate to laugh, but damn, if he stands here much longer, he might strain a calf. The Lions are limping. The Cowboys are surging. Can the Lions be saved by J-Mo emerging? They've fallen behind in the playoff race. Starting tonight, it's time to pick up the pace. Watch your calf there, buddy.
Nice.
Right.
I had a different rhyme for a couple of those ones. Not bad. Not bad.
You
B-
think about that. We're going to think about Hammer, who's here as well. She is down on the field getting ready for this one. Let's check in with her. Hey, good evening, Hammer.
What's up, Hammer?
Hi, I miss you guys. I'll come up and see you real soon. Of course, things are really trending in the right direction for the Lions with Amon-Ra St. Brown listed as active for tonight's game, but that does not mean they don't still have their fair share of injuries. Take a look at tonight's Feiger Law injury report. Probably the biggest one that kind of came out there is Coyote Awashika. The left guard is not going to play tonight because of injury. That means they're going to bring in Tristan Colon, so they're down to their third their third line, left guard. The offensive line obviously has been a little bit of a point of weakness, and full disclosure, they've got to be better across the board. Every position has to be better. And earlier this week, really the battle cry in Allen Park was all about the difference between urgency and panic. This is a team that knows what's at stake. They know the margin for error is getting smaller by the day, but they also know that winning and getting into the playoffs is still within their control. It is today's Big Picture, brought to you by Macomb County Veteran Services.
We have 5 games left for the regular season, I believe, and we're at a point where it is, there's some adversity for sure. And, we call ourselves a gritty team. It's all over this building. It's what people say about us, but I think it's easy to be gritty when you're winning games and it's all sunshine and rainbows. But in these moments, when you're coming off a bad loss to a divisional opponent on Thanksgiving, it's just obviously none of us want that result. How can we come together and still make this season worthy of being remembered?
Well, and one way that they can come together starts with the defensive line, and you guys already alluded to it, getting some pressure up front in weeks 1 through 9. The Lions ranked second with 28 sacks. Since then, they are 27th. Not good. They need to impose their will on both sides, on the offensive line and the defensive line. Dan?
All right, Hammer, thank you very much. Some of that is going to be woven into our 3 things as we get ready to bring you 3 things we're watching in tonight's game that you should keep an eye on as well that might dictate how it's going. Brought to you by Michigan First Credit Union. Birchie, you're first up, mano a mano.
Yeah, it's been mano a mano, hand-to-hand, man-to-man defense for the Lions for most of this season. And knowing that DJ Reed and Amik Robertson have to be at their very best tonight against 2 of the best receivers in the NFL in Pickens and Lamb. But also, Kelvin Shepherd and the Lions have to consider an adjustment to their scheme tonight for 2 reasons. One, the Lions aren't getting to the QB quickly enough to play this much man coverage. And against man coverage this season, Lamb and Pickens rank 1st and 3rd in the NFL in receiving yards per game. The Lions are playing with fire if they deploy this much man coverage tonight and don't get home more quickly to Dak Prescott. It doesn't mean they won't play man, and when they do, you sign DJ Reed for $48 million last offseason to lock it down on nights like this.
All right, number 2 and 3 things to watch. TJ, coming your way. It is all in the details.
Yeah, we're going to break this down into 3 separate details, by the way. Number 1, proper alignment. Last week, too many silly mistakes, right? Lining up off sides, illegal formations, guys not knowing when they're supposed to be on the ball or off the ball. Those are details that you go over every single day in the meeting rooms and every single day on practice. You can't shoot yourself in the foot. Number 2, proper fundamentals. If you're supposed to take a 6-inch step, you got to take a 6-inch step. You take a 3-inch step, you're going to be behind. And how many times has Dan Campbell said, man, if we just give these guys half a more foot or maybe another foot of area to get through, we're breaking big plays. That's more specifically up front. And then also, how about proper players on the field? 12 men on the field last week that hurt their defensive chances on a key 3rd down the red zone. You gave Green Bay new life. They end up scoring. And Green Bay's first 3rd down of the game, Detroit had 10 guys on the field. So it's just the silly little things. Coaches, players, make sure you're doing the proper things. Comes down to little details. Don't forget what you've been coached all week. Don't forget what you've been emphasizing all week, and go out there and execute.
Coach calls it the things that don't take time.
It doesn't. No, it doesn't.
On the details.
Paying attention doesn't.
Number 3 and 3 to watch. Wojo, a most must win.
Let me clarify.
Please do.
And also,
aren't you a journalist?
Close ain't good enough. I'm going to repeat that.
Yeah, okay.
No. This is the most. This is the mostiest of must-wins in recent history with the Lions. And if it feels weird, that's because it is. They're facing possibly their first back-to-back losses in 3 years. They are under Dan Campbell after a loss. Once they got going, 14-0 the game after a loss. 56 games since then. But it's never been in this situation where literally they could lose a playoff bid if they don't win this game. Their odds of making the playoffs go from 30% to 45% if they win. You know what happens to them if they lose?
Oh, God, not good.
Not good, Bob.
12%.
Yeah.
12%.
Yeah.
The most
That's less than the beer TJ drinks.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It's all all laid out there. They've handled it before, but not with this type of stakes.
Most must win. All right, that's three things we're watching tonight. We're also watching them get ready for football behind us. You're going to see it all here on Fox 2. It is a big night and a must win. Take a break, come right back.
Mostiest of must
The moistiest win?
Yeah, moisty too.
Okay.
I'm Collie Freeman, and you're watching Lions Game Day Live on Fox 2 Detroit.
One of the guys that unfortunately you will not see tonight for the Lions. You know what's interesting, though? This is the fourth straight year these teams have played. That's kind of unusual when you're not playing in the same division. Yeah, good point. Each game's had kind of an individual personality.
And look, Dallas, you don't think for a second they forgot about what Detroit did last year.
47-9. No, they have not. And Jared Goff talked about these Cowboys that he knows very well.
They're playing really well since the bye. They're playing with a lot of energy. They're playing hard. They're playing fast. It's flying around. Defense is getting better, it seems, every week. And Coach Eberflus got a lot of respect for him and his scheme. And so we'll have to put in some work and come out ready to go.
To what extent does this feel like a must-win game? I mean, you guys all said it after the loss to Green Bay. You guys have kind of put yourself in a little bit of a hole.
Yeah, sure. I mean, they all feel that way, and they will feel that way from here on out. The last five will all feel must-win, and you say that, but there's a lot of things that can happen, and of course you want to win every game, and we want to win this one. This one's very important, and certainly it's an NFC opponent, a team that's in the playoff hunt just like we are, and so it's a very important one, and we want to win.
All right, that brings us to our quarterback comparison, brought to you by Wallside Windows. Woj, Goff, Dak, go!
All right, you see the numbers very similar.
They're similar, too.
Yeah. That's the second highest completion percentage of Dak Prescott's career. He's having a quietly very efficient year. Leads the league in passing yards, tied for second with touchdowns, 25. Here's the thing that he doesn't do as much anymore, which could hurt the Lions. He's not as dangerous dropping the ball or throwing interceptions. He is #1 in the league. You love my advanced stats. Number one in the league.
You heard it on the radio,
in the fewest number of bad throws. His bad throw rate is very low, and I went every single one.
Whose metric is the bad throw?
Well, yes, exactly. But what Goff has to do is take what's given him, because their pass defense, Dallas's, is not their strength. Their run defense is their strength, which is why it is super important that Amon-Ra St. Brown could be out there, because I think Goff needs to dink and dunk them. You can't just ram the ball with Gibbs up the middle.
And dinking and dunking and running the ball could be a big thing, because if you've got long, time-consuming drives, they don't have the football.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I think the QB matchup is determined tonight on the ground, as in which team can establish the run game early. Both of these quarterbacks are lethal in play action. Dak's numbers between play action and non-play action very glaring. If you can take away play action from him, he's been a very pedestrian quarterback this year. So it starts tonight for the defense, stopping this Cowboys run game.
Quick quiz: who leads the Cowboys in sacks?
James Houston.
I know that dude.
Only 4.5 though. They're not a big sack heavy team.
Jadeveon Clowney, who's actually been nice for him in the pass rush game, not playing tonight for Dallas.
Good point by
he is inactive. All right, we're going to take a break. Come right back. Much more coming up. We are glad you're with us. It's a big night in Detroit, and it's a big night on Fox 2 as we get ready for the Cowboys and the Lions. You'll see it right here. All right, Lions and Cowboys getting ready to go tonight. We've already told you Amon-Ra St. Brown is in the lineup. He will play for the Lions. How will they attack these Cowboys? We're going to find out in the coach's scouting report, brought to you by
Eastern Michigan University.
There you go. All right, Coach, let me go back a couple of points you made this week. You talked about details. You talked about discipline. You talked about not digging a hole for yourself. And that's kind of what we've seen the last couple of weeks. How do you want that to show in the way the guys play?
Well, I think it's just that, man. It's our fundamental, the things that require no talent, man. And look, the effort's been there, but it really is, man. It's the technique, fundamentals, details, discipline, and we got to get off to a fast start. All right, that's what Arizona did to this team. We have to be able to do that.
All right, let's get to these Cowboys. They're obviously picking up the pace here. Let's start with the offense. Dak's got a lot of weapons to work with. This is George Pickens. This is a quick hitter, and this is something that you mentioned. Green Bay was getting the ball out quick, too.
No doubt. And look, this guy's playing at a high level. He has for a number of years. Dak has. And then you just see this, just a one-on-one slant, ball out, and then he does the rest here, run after catch. He's a big, long, strong target. You know, now with that, this ball's exposed. We got to go after the football too. But really good player, he and CeeDee Lamb.
Big thing on Dak too. Big, strong guy.
Yes,
there.
he is.
Can hurt you with his legs too.
We know that well.
Yeah.
You know, a population around him, and you can't just think you're going to hit him and he goes down. You got to wrap him up and pull him down.
Javonte Williams has been a nice find for them, having a career year, 220 pounds, runs downhill as you'll see here, and he will run through tackles.
Yes, he will, and he's a good back. You know, he is. I mean, you look at those quads. I mean, this guy is. He's stacked and runs heavy, runs downhill, breaks tackles, runs through you, and he has been a great addition for them. And really everything about them starts with the run game.
All right, Quinnen Williams on the other side. He's kind of brought that defensive front together. I know you love Kenny Clark as well, but Quinnen Williams, a nice get for them, and has seemed to really help solidify things up front.
Sure has. There's Kenny, by the way. All right, big boy. Kenny, and then we got Quinnen here, man. He can get off the ball, create disruption, can get an edge in the run and pass game, and this is what he's able to do, man. So if we're laid out of our stance, you take one false step, one bad inside step, this is the kind of disruption that he can create. So we got to be on point.
Hey, look, big picture. You talked about it a little bit. You're up against it in terms of the standings a little bit, but there's obviously clearly still a path. And the important thing is the only thing you can handle is what's right in front of you. That big picture can't be on your mind.
No, that's it. It really is. It comes down to this one game, and it's the sole focus. Everything we have, all in for one game, one win, and do whatever it takes to win this game. And then you worry about everything after that.
You know, part of what Coach talked about there is that secondary, and now they will be challenged by these Cowboy receivers and by Dak Prescott. DJ Reed very much in the spotlight tonight for the Lions. Danny Rodgers caught up with him.
And talked about it today. I feel like football exposes the man that you are, and right now, it's must win every game, and our pure focus is being 100% in on Dallas. And that's all we're worried about right now. And I just feel like, it's just an opportunity. That's how I look at it. I don't look at it as pressure or, stressful. I look at it as, you prepare the right way. You go about it each day the right way. And, whatever happens, happens. And you could be confident that whatever happens, happens. You know that you gave your all. And I just see it as an opportunity to make plays.
Number one passing offense is coming to Detroit and the Dallas Cowboys. Okay, your face is already lighting up. I like that. George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, they're both having great seasons.
Yeah.
Pickens especially. How do you zero in on a player like that who is playing his best season of his career?
Yeah, man, he's a great football player. I feel like him going to Dallas was definitely a great opportunity for him because Dak Prescott is doing a great job of getting him the ball. But individually as a quarterback, I think he's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. You look at CeeDee, he could do damage in the slot. He could also do damage on the outside. He's a good, well-polished receiver. It's the reason why he's one of the highest-paid receivers. And Pickens, pretty much different type of games. His catch radius is probably the best in the league. He's one of those guys that you have to know where he's at all times, and they both also do a good job, after the catch, like the yak. So it's going to be a great challenge for us, but, like I said, I see everything as opportunity, so I'm looking forward to it.
What is the mindset and the mood in the locker room right now?
That's a great question. I feel like everybody in the locker room is calm, cool, and collected, but we also know that there's a different type of sense of urgency we have to have. And it just starts with walkthroughs. It starts with how we prepare, when we're in meetings, how we practice individual drills and transitioning to team periods and being deliberate and intentional with each rep we get. And, when you go home, take care of your body, watch film, do the things that, when no one's watching, basically integrity of the game, loving the game. I feel like everybody is mature, and I feel like everybody's doing that.
They're going to be in the spotlight tonight. Big challenge.
They sure will. I hope someone told DJ Reed that pregame. Dak Prescott told NFL Network's Jen Hale that the last thing he remembered from here playing them was that they lit them up. They had a lot of passing yards against Detroit's defense. So if someone could slide that note into the locker room, give them a little extra motivation, that'd be great.
Take all the motivation they can get tonight. It's a big night. You can feel it.
You can. This is a big deal tonight. This is a must-win.
No doubt about it. All right, Cowboys-Lions coming up. We're getting you ready for it. Stick with us. We're live at Ford Field in downtown Detroit.
Time now for the Big Cat of the Week, brought to you by Pet Supplies Plus. And the Lions lost to the Packers on Thanksgiving. Receiver Jameson Williams stepped up for an injured Amon-Ra St. Brown by catching 7 passes for 144 yards and a touchdown. The 144 yards receiving is a career high for Jamo. He is your Pet Supplies Plus Big Cat of the Week.
I'm Lee McNeil, and you're watching Lions Game Day live on Fox 2 Detroit.
Aleem will be big tonight.
Yeah.
Because these Cowboys can run the football. DJ Reader will be big tonight because these Cowboys can run the football.
You said that already, Dan.
We'll talk about that when we come back, but I did have a chance to sit down with DJ this week. The Thursday sit-down is brought to you by the DTE Foundation.
Really trying to find a way to get a win. We know it's going to take a sense of urgency. We've got a good team coming in here, so I think for us as players, we just think about, and our coaches just think about how we get back in the win column.
Part of it that looks like it's missing is that takeaways and then points off takeaways, which this team kind of made a living off of. Last 6-7 games, it's not there. You can't will the takeaway, but what's the best way to get back in that groove?
I think just practicing it. I think practicing it and just making them happen in practice. I think that's been something we really worked on these last 2 days, just making sure, hey, get your hands on the ball, making sure they happen. And that's really it. Takeaways, they come and go, but you always want to be in that win, that plus column when it comes to them. And we just hadn't had a couple just bounce away. I mean, we've had some and just not been able to recover, or things have happened, you know what I'm saying? So it's been tough, but I think we just got to find a way to get them to bounce our way.
Shep said this is exactly where you want to be. He said, your back's against the wall, you're up against it a little bit, but if you're a competitor, you embrace that. I'm sure he shared that with you guys. You've been through this before. Is that how you have to approach it?
Yeah, I mean, I've been through it many times on many different teams. I mean, I was in Cincy, went to the Super Bowl. I think we were, 9-7, 9-8. It wasn't like it was great, you know what I'm saying? So it's just, it happens. And there's a certain thing about you when you feel tested and battle tested that you can get out of anything. And so, I think if we can find a way to get out there and just compete to the highest level, go hard and go as hard as we need to, then you'll feel a lot more confident about yourself when you come out on the other side.
Well, part of it is knowing what you're capable of. I mean, this team won 15 games last year. This team was in the NFC Championship game a couple years ago. And I know teams change every year, but a lot of that core is still here. And Dan Campbell also said this, a lot of what's going on right now isn't talent related. It's details. It's making sure you understand exactly what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing. It's small details that's getting us beat. And there's things in plays we know we shouldn't make and mistakes that we know we shouldn't make it. So I think, correcting those things. And those, I wouldn't say they're easy to correct, but I do think they come down to the person, the man. And I think we got a lot of men on the team that really want to get it corrected.
Final thing. Just what would one win right now mean to this team?
A lot, man. They're coming in our house. We got to get it done. I think that's all we're focusing on, winning one at a time. We've dug ourselves in a little bit of a hole, and the only way to get out of that hole is to take care of Dallas this week and get one win. They can start right here, and then there's no need to wait.
We've talked about Dak. You better stop Javonte Williams, and that's the guys up front.
Yeah, it is. And they've been doing a really nice job, especially on the interior. And by the way, congratulations to DJ Reader on the Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee from this Detroit Lions team. But yeah, they're going to have their hands full tonight.
Yeah, also a strong candidate for the Media Good Guy Award. I know no one cares about that but us, but a guy who's just always accountable, always available, and always thoughtful in the locker room. But DJ Reader has faced one of the highest rates of double teams in the NFL this season. He does a lot of thankless grunt work for this defensive line. If they can get him and Tyleek to also give some pass rush juice tonight, that'd go a long way for this defense.
You want to have any stats. If you want to have any chance of stopping Pickens and Lamb, you can't let Javonte Williams get loose.
100%.
Then they don't even
Gotta take something away.
Absolutely.
All right, we've got the Woody Wonders. You guys ready?
Who's the victim?
Roy Lopez, who also is the key. Roy's the good guy.
Right.
Woody caught him up. This is brought to you by Bill Brown.
Scare him off.
Woody, why are you wearing headphones? I'm glad you asked, because I'm wondering about you guys. I see you before the game. Everybody's got headphones on, and I'm wondering what you're listening to. And Roy Lopez, Lions defensive lineman, you are the perfect guy to talk about this, because I'm thinking you're listening to music. What do you got on the headphones?
I'm real simple. You know, I have a bunch of different playlists I listen to. You know, I'll listen to slow jams, some R&B, some country music. I like to listen to country music because it's kind of upbeat, but also brings me back to my safe place, whether that's my good memories, and I get to lean on that in hectic environment.
Where does your unnatural love for country music come from?
It's been my whole life. It's what my family listens to, and it's what I grew up on, and just to be able to dance to the music and sing along with it it's always been fun for me.
Is that the key, sing along? Because a lot of those songs are about heartbreak.
Right, yeah, that's the funny part, because we'll all be sitting there laughing, having fun, and you know, we're all singing our hearts out to sad songs, you know, but it just comes with it. It's great though.
Are you old school country or new school?
I like both. I was raised on the old school, so I can definitely get down with that, but the new school is definitely making a run for their money, for sure.
If you released a country song, would it be called Sackin' and Smackin' or Honky Tonk Bull Rush?
I like Sackin' and Smackin' for
sure. Which hits harder, Roy Lopez on a stunt or the steel guitar on a classic country track?
Oh, we're going Roy Lopez on the stunt, for sure.
For sure. Hey, listen, if there was a game show called Country Song or Country Corn, where you had to figure out if a song was real or fake, would you be a contestant?
Oh, that'd be fun, for sure.
Really? You think you do good at it?
Oh yeah. Do I get to call a friend on? Is that something as well?
I'm sure the guy who runs that game could make an exception.
That'd be great.
Isn't that
that'd
amazing?
be great.
Country Song, Country Corn. That's something we'll have to investigate. Back to you, Dan.
That's a guy you've been bringing up a lot in the radio booth, Roy Lopez.
He is. He doesn't necessarily light up the stat sheet, man, but he does some really good work, especially in the run game. And like Bertie said, if you can get a little bit of a pass rush from those interior guys, it's going to make job like Aiden Hutchinson a little bit easier when it comes third down.
Going to need it all tonight against the Cowboys in a must-win game for both these teams as we get ready to go with Ford Field. Keep it here. You'll watch it right here on Fox 2. Take a break. Come right back. Important at some point of the show to have somebody on who's not sober, so we've got Matt Riley here tonight.
I volunteered.
He's going to talk about this, Killer's Christmas, right here. It's one of our favorite events every year, celebrating our good friend Tom Kowalski, who of course passed away in 2011. Something he started to make sure the kids around Kego Harbor had presents under the tree, and Matt, it's gotten so much bigger since then.
Well, you know, you guys were back there when it all began, back at the brew house, right?
Yep.
I mean, little tiny bar, not much bigger than the set, a little bit bigger, handful of us. You'd be behind the bar, Woj, you, Stoney, maybe Eric Hipple, right? Raised a couple grand. And when Killer passed, we had the little event at Chelly's. I went to you guys and Stoney and said, what do we do? And you guys, we all agreed, it doesn't die with Killer.
Right.
15 years later, here we are.
Tom Kowalski, for those, it's been 15, so there's a new generation of Lions that didn't know how plugged in he was, how funny he was, how good he was, and that's what the night is all about.
He was a conduit between the fans and the Lions every year.
Absolutely.
And really, one of the first guys to do message boards and social media and things like that.
Right, yeah, and now it can't be stopped. Thanks a lot, Tom. No, it's
so
great.
this year, the event's coming up tomorrow night at the Lodge in Kego Harbor, and it's going to be huge.
December 5th, so tomorrow night, free admission, free valet parking. We have a goal this year, so I promised everybody I would. And we've got a bunch of people. We got sponsors. We've got volunteers. We've got all the bartenders who come. I said I wouldn't set any more goals. I set a goal this year of $150,000. I thought 15 years, $150,000, a little bit poetic, and we're working towards that.
It's good stuff, and it's a great time. There's people from all over the landscape of sports and media that come, and everybody just gets together and has a good time.
And here's what they need to do. Ask Dan to make a really complicated cocktail.
And then I go to a waitress and I say, can you make me a kamikaze?
Beer for you,
works, but
beer for me.
It's so much work by you. And you're to be congratulated. You got a great crew with you.
Yeah, it's not just me. I mean we've got a load of volunteers. We've got the Lodge. We've got Kelly. We got all the people from the lodge. We got sponsors who come in. People like Luke Nowacki. People like Christina Gennari. People like just a Catholic Drew Lane. These people come in and they all give everything they can for us every year. And all the people who show up, and it is just off the charts. And by the way, let's not forget Killer's Cooler.
Cooler. Yeah, lots of great auction items. Besides just having fun, you might come home with
Killer's Cooler, by the way, is a raffle.
And I have been known to serve the coldest beers of all time at this event. I've been known to drink a few too.
Yes, we know that. That is true.
Serve one, take one. Serve one, take one.
I pour a very stiff drink.
There you go.
Yes, she does. Yes, Amber does.
They'll all be behind the bar. It's going to be a great night.
Yeah.
Please come out tomorrow night. Lodge, Kego Harbor. We would love to see you there, raising money for a great cause and celebrating our friend Tom Kowalski. Still remember him after all these years. Will never be forgotten. So we look forward to that. Matt, good stuff, brother. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow night. If you want to talk to Matt tomorrow night, get there before 8 p.m. Because after 8 o'clock, it ain't happening. All right, let's go back. Last week, Wired for Sound, brought to you by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers.
Last time we'll see him upright.
Want to see what Detroit all about? We better come out here and show it.
Throwing, got the man. Touchdown, Detroit Lions.
Close it out.
Can you smell it?
Ah, smells good. Good job up front, man. Holy crap. 1, 2, 3, pistol.
Fantastic crowd, as you would expect on Thanksgiving Day. You feel the electricity on Thanksgiving Day when you get out of your car.
It's different.
You just walk.
Yes.
There's just a vibration in the streets. You feel it, man. And you feel it right now. Packers show blitz. Goff throws left side. Got it to Jamo. Jamo spins out of one tackle. Gets down to the 19. And he's gone, baby. High stepping into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit Lions. Love wants to throw, straight drop, looking, Love gonna throw deep downfield, wants Watson, right side, makes the catch, just ran right by Amik Robertson, grabbed it, into the end zone he goes. Jared turns, fakes the give, sets, looks, Jared still looking, middle, throws, end zone, caught, touchdown Detroit Lions, Isaac Tesla. 3:26 to go. Goff's got it back, looking, Goff stepping left off, gonna get drilled and gonna get sacked. Gonna have to kick it here. Micah Parsons, another sack for Green Bay. 4th and 3 from the Lion 45. Love is back. Love looking. Love hit as he throws. It is caught for a first down at the Lion 29-yard line. Dontavian Wicks, well covered, went up and made the grab. That's your ball game. Gain of 16. It is over. Packers make a big play to clinch it. Time now for Lions Trivia, brought to you by Sod Meats. The last time the Lions beat the Cowboys at Ford Field came during the 2013 season. Which Lions player scored the winning touchdown in the final minute of the game? Was it Calvin Johnson, Reggie Bush, or Matthew Stafford? The answer is coming up. Here's the answer to the Lions trivia question, brought to you by Sod Meats. The Lions' last win over the Cowboys at Ford Field was a 31-30 victory in October of 2013. Quarterback Matthew Stafford scored the winning touchdown with 12 seconds left after faking a spike to stop the clock and diving into the end zone.
And welcome back. I am with a man who needs little introduction, the GOAT, the Hall of Famer, number 20, Barry Sanders. Thanks for joining us tonight. This is a huge one. You played in 4 games against Dallas, went 3-1 against this team. What is it about the Cowboys that creates a rivalry, even though they're not in the same division?
Well, I think it's probably the history what they've meant, if you want to give them credit, the NFC and, the history of the Cowboys. And then, obviously, even in recent history, right? I mean, these two teams battling it out for NFC supremacy, and certainly that's the case this year. I mean, there's a lot at stake this week, tonight. So there's a lot behind this game.
Yeah, a lot at stake, and certainly we've seen some really impressive performances from Ja Gibbs. I know that you're a huge fan of his. What is it like to watch another guy? And do you see any similarity? Can you look at him? Because I watch him and I think he's about as close to Barry Sanders as we've seen in this organization.
Oh, wow. Hey, he's a lot faster than I was. But
he gets to the end zone.
He's exciting. No, he's exciting. He's coming into his own. He's in his prime. You see every time he touches the ball, then something, is likely to happen, right? There's that anticipation. And so we're going to need a big night from him tonight. I know he's ready for it. He's having a great year, I think, is this his first year starting? I believe this is his first year starting, like full-time. He's really coming into his own, so I'm definitely excited to see what he's going to do this evening, because it's a big stage, and we certainly need him.
And you know better than anybody that the success doesn't come without a great offensive line. One of your former buddies, teammates, number 75, the big fella, going into the final phase now for a potential Hall of Fame bid. You were integral in that process, were you not? Can you fill me in a little bit on that?
Hey, I've been lobbying hard for Lomas. Such a great competitor and a great player. I know he meant so much to this team when he was here, and you see really just wherever Lomas was, in the locker room, on the field, such a just important personality on a team. And then you look at how the guy played and who he played against. All the guys that he played against, right, are they're in the Hall of Fame. The Lawrence Taylors, the Reggie Wrights, and guys like that. And Lomas certainly excelled during his time, and certainly his name deserves to be in there. Like I said, I've been lobbying for him. Hopefully it'll help a little bit.
Yeah, and we've seen the Lions in prime time so much this season. This place becomes explosive. How does this compare, the noise level here, to what it used to be at the Silverdome?
Lately, I would say it certainly matches it. It certainly matches it. I mean, there's been some exciting football, and some meaningful football played in this stadium, and you can just hear that sort of thirst, that desire, that pin-up desire in a lot of ways that Lions fans have had. So I would say it certainly matches the excitement in the Silverdome, and we're hoping we can take it a step further, right? We're hoping this current team can take it a step further and really reach their potential. And we all understand this is one of the best teams in the NFL, and so we're just hoping that tonight we see that and on the rest of the season.
All right, thank you, Barry Sanders. Number 20, Hall of Famer Barry Sanders, my favorite Lion of all time, if I can say that to you right here. Hey, come back. On the other side of the break, we've got the picks, getting you set for the Lions and the Cowboys right here on Fox 2.
Hey,
Wait, TJ, can you please set the stage for what year that was?
That was at the Pro Bowl. Thank you so much.
Not a big deal.
Yeah. All right, there you
Humble
go.
brag. Humble brag. Thanks, Hammer. Thanks for asking.
How I have staged a comeback. Once 0-6. I have now 5-1 in my last 6 games. All right. 6-6, Wojo. 5-7, Jen. 5-7, TJ. Birchie, you're hopeless. Okay.
7-game streak.
So tonight the spread is, and that's the odds makers brought to you by Big B Coffee. We love Big B Coffee. I need coffee right now.
Ooh,
Lions favored by 2.5. Who wants to go first, my friends?
Well, I will start by saying this. I struggled with this game more than any pick maybe in 10 years. Everything football-wise tells me Cowboys with those receivers, but now that I'm in this edifice, around these people, I'm taking the Lions to win the game and cover.
Boom! I was once 4-1 this season. I think I've set a Fox 2 Lions Game Day Live record with a 7-game losing
No, I think Hammer still has it.
I'm going to do all of Detroit a favor here. Whatever I have picked, the opposite has happened. I'm taking the Cowboys to cover. I'm taking the Cowboys to win 30-24. You can pretty much lock in a Lions victory now.
The reverse jinx. All right, I got you. I think that the Cowboys cover, but I think this comes down to a game-winning kick by Jake Bates. I'm taking the Lions 31, Cowboys 30.
How many yards?
Whoa.
Man, 52. A little bit of pressure, but well in his range.
So Killer, the master of 8-8 calls on the season, would probably call this a push. But I'm going to go in the honor and memory of Killer. Lions win, Lions cover.
Lions win, Lions cover. I taking the Cowboys plus 2.5. And obviously, if you guys missed the news,
Whoa, you're on an island,
the big story of the game is that Amon-Ra St. Brown is activated. He came out, he ran around the field. Do you expect him to make a big impact tonight, Will?
I do. I mean, anytime he's on the field, you expect him to make an impact, especially on third down. Jared Goff loves no one more than Amon-Ra St. Brown on big passing down, so look for him to look his way.
Actually, St. Brown is kind of what put me over the top to flip over to the Lions, because I was leaning Cowboy, but when he was running around on that, I think that's a huge difference.
The offensive line doesn't scare you at all.
Yes, it does. They all scare. Pickens should scare you. Lamb should scare you.
Can't forget about J-Mo, though. He's still out there with or without St. Brown. Got to feed J-Mo.
All right, we're going to wrap this up. We're going to see you guys on the post-game show immediately following the game. Kickoff here at 8:15 right on Fox 2, and then we'll see you after the game as well. Thank you for making us part of your Lions game day for all of us at Fox 2. Woo!